Hi gang. So in this video, I am going to be revisiting some of my palettes in my collection, which I haven't played around with as much recently because of the newer palettes that I've been getting. So I guess this is kind of like a shop my stash kind of video. Today I've decided to try to use the Sigma Crème de Coutour Pressed Color Palette. This is mostly a pastel palette, and yeah, I have used this palette a few times, but I don't really reach for it that much because, well, one thing, it's all matte and I usually enjoy having shimmers on my eye, and another thing is that it doesn't have a lot of dark shades, and that makes sense because it is a pastel palette. However, I recently decluttered a few pastel kind of palettes. I decluttered the Jeffree Star Jawbreaker palette as well as the Morphe 35i Icy Fantasy palette because, quite honestly, this is pretty much like what I would need for pastels. I'm not really a big pastel fan. So I decided I would try to use this in conjunction with some other single eyeshadows. I'm not entirely sure exactly where all of these come from because they're kind of like a mix. I know I have quite a few Makeup Geek shadows in here. Let's see, what shade shall I pick? I've already primed my eyes and done my eyebrows, so I saw Samantha, who is a friend of mine. Shout out, hi Samantha. She recently tried to do a look with, I think, a shade like this. So I think I want to try my hand at using this shade. Probably not in the same way that she used it because she did it with kind of like a black liner thing. But yeah, I just want to play with the shade. Let's go. So I don't think I've used this shade all that much. So primed my eyes with the Urban Decay Original Primer Potion. I don't know if this is going to show up very much on me. Oh, that's not too bad. That is really not too bad. I've recently been seeing a lot of videos on the Oden's Eye makeup brand, which is, I believe, a Swedish makeup brand. I saw what? Annette's Makeup Corner talk about it. I saw Julia, I don't remember, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but it starts with an M. I'll link their channels down below if you want to check them out. I think they focus a lot on indie brands, if I'm not mistaken, and I do like their content. I know Angelica Nyqvist has talked about Oden's Eye. So Oden's Eye is something that I want to look into maybe after my no buy, or I don't know, maybe my interest will fade with time. Let's see how that goes. Typical. All right, so let me see. With this green, I feel like I want to go in with like an interesting kind of like cool toned shade. I mean, I could go with the gold, which is quite pretty as well. Okay, I think I'm gonna go in with this silver instead. I just want to try that. Want to use that silver on my eye. I think this was from the Jaclyn Hill Dark Magic palette, the mini ones from Morphe. Yeah. So recently, where is my setting spray? Recently, I've noticed that there's a lot of chatter going on with some beauty YouTubers. I don't know why it always comes to this. It always comes to someone getting into some trouble for something they said or did or whatever. And honestly, I don't want to go and like find out what's going on because it's too much. It feels like a real life reality TV show. It's kind of funny that you compare it to a reality TV show. When you compare reality to a reality TV show, it really says a lot about the times we're living in. But yeah, it's like I don't want to invest my time looking at this stuff. I don't want to invest my time trying to figure out who messed up and why and what they did. I'm very annoyed with, like, can everyone just behave themselves, please? Okay, I feel like this is very boring at the moment. I want something more interesting on my eye. So let's see how we can revamp this up. I think I want to take this shade, which is a gold blue kind of shade. It shifts a little bit. So I want to put that in the corner, in the center of my eye, and try to make this eyeshadow more interesting. Because I'm all about the interesting look. Whatever that means. Yes, it kind of works. I mean, it kind of like blends with that green shade somehow. So I'll try to put in the description the shades that I have. This is Malibu from Looxi Beauty. Oopsie daisy. Malibu from Looxi Beauty. This is a single eyeshadow. And I heard about Looxi Beauty from Angelica Nyqvist, by the way. That is how I found out. And she recommended this particular formula, so I decided to try it out. Okay, so we've got that down. It's not that interesting, but maybe if we put something interesting on the bottom lash line, that will help. Okay, so I'm going to take another shade from this palette. Let's see, what shade is interesting to me? I kind of want to take this dark purple. Or this green. I'm going to take the shade Elderberry. I know, I've used this a lot of, like, this is one of my favorite, this is my favorite shade in the palette, which is odd because it's a pastel palette and that shade is not pastel. But I really do like it. It's an interesting dark matte shade. And I don't think I've seen this kind of purple around very much. So you can probably see why I like it. There we go. So when I was younger, I never used to draw or do my bottom lash line with any color. It was only the top. And I think it was because I was so afraid that my eyeshadow would smudge. And to be fair, it still does. Like if I had this on for a whole day, this particular area right here would kind of like rub off and it would reveal my skin underneath. So that's not fun. But yeah, I think if I packed on the eyeshadow primer a bit more, which I keep forgetting to do. Oh, look at that. The big splotch right here. See, Ali, I don't have perfect skin. Yeah, I think I've been pretty stressed out the past few days, and yeah, I mean, I touched a little bit on why in my previous video, so I don't know if you're really curious, you can go and look at what I said. But yeah, I've been pretty stressed out, and oh, no. And I think that's kind of like showing a bit in my general skin condition and everything else. I'm feeling a little bit better today. I'm definitely not feeling as unfocused, and I feel a lot calmer. Yesterday night I was feeling extremely stressed out. So I said to Martin, you know what? I need to calm down. So I started lighting some candles and I did some arts and crafts. It wasn't really arts and crafts. It was just cutting up stuff. I make it sound like it's all fancy, but no. Oh, yeah. So if you look at right there, whoopsie daisy here, right here, there's a little like, I don't know, like a picture poster kind of thing. This is from like a calendar. You know how sometimes when you get calendars and they have really beautiful pictures and then they have like a little section where all the dates are, and then you later on you can like cut up the calendar and save the picture. That's what we did with this one. This is, oops, we saw this in the store, like heavily discounted, and it's artwork by Thomas Kincaid. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And I've always really liked his artwork. Let me see what shade I want to pick next first. Okay, I want to take that pretty shade here, right here. Let's try that one. Let's do that. That one looks really interesting. So yeah. Again, I'm gonna know what this shade is. Oh, it's also from Looxi Beauty. This is called Foxy Lady. So what was I saying? Yeah. So yeah, you can cut out the picture, the artwork, and then you can do with it what you will. And so at the moment we don't have any like frames for them, but we decided to just, you know, put them up with some, what, I don't know if this is a commonly used phrase or commonly used product, but it's called Blue Tack. From where I come from, it's like this gummy kind of sticky thing that you can use to put like pieces of paper up on the wall, posters, that kind of stuff. Anyway, we might get some photo frames, like picture frames for them eventually, to kind of like really spruce up the look, because right now they're just floating in space. But if they had like real frames around them, I think they will look really nice. I think that's actually a pretty cool thing to do. Okay, I like this look on the bottom lash line. I mean, it's kind of understated. This is nowhere near as crazy as I usually go with my eyeshadow. But it looks fun. Okay, so now I'm going to use like a matte shade on the brow bone. I think I want to take apricot flower mixed with Meyer lemon. Meyer lemon? Let's do that. Let's see how that goes on the brow bone. I don't know what it is, but it seems like Jeffree Star shades always do like the best job of blending out my edges of colorful eyeshadow. So that's why I always use that. So if any of you know what is going on, because I did see a whole bunch of like drama videos in my feed, and I really don't want to get sucked into this because it's all very painful to watch, to be honest. It feels like, yeah, if you know what's going on, please just give me a quick summary, because I'm interested, but I don't want to go through a whole 1 hour video with evidence and this and that, and a lot of very unnecessarily snide comments here and there. Like, I understand that drama channels, or like social commentary channels, I mean, there is a difference. I think some channels are just deliberately very gossipy, and they blow things out of proportion to a crazy degree, and they're just very judgy. I feel like they're very judgy for everything. Yeah, just making a big deal out of something that isn't a big deal, in my opinion anyway. I mean, to some other people it could be a big deal. Who knows? I don't know anymore. Okay, so now that we've got that down, I kind of want to deepen up my outer corner just a teeny tiny bit. I will try not to go crazy with it, because I know that I'm very prone to doing that. So let me take, I think I want to take this dark green forest green shade, and I'm just going to put that just a little bit, teeny tiny bit, teeny tiny. I don't want to turn it into that shade on the outer corner. I just want just a bit of depth just to the outside. I wouldn't know what to call this look, to be honest, but it is pretty, I think. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, drama channels. Sometimes I end up watching it if I'm like really, really bored and there's a huge scandal and I feel like, maybe I could take this, and then I watch it, and then they're sneaking in all sorts of weird snide comments about stuff which I just don't think is a big deal at all. And I end up wondering, why am I watching this? So I think that's okay. I mean, I don't know. I feel like this part looks like it's grabbing onto my skin a bit more than here for some reason. This always happens. Does that work? I don't know. Okay, so I finished up my face. I added in some eyeliner, some mascara, did the whole concealing thing, and I added the shade, the Bourjois Rouge Edition Velvet in the shade number 14, Plum Girl, and I added a gloss on top of it. This is the Dose of Colors lip gloss in the shade Goalz. So yeah, that is the finished look. I really like how it turned out. I am quite surprised at how much I like it, because I think my issue with this palette was that somehow I just had this, like I felt like I needed to use it as a standalone palette because of the very many shades in here. But obviously, if I like shimmer, why not use this with shimmer? And it turned out really nice. Yeah. Also, I did bring up the inner corner shimmer up from the bottom lash line all the way into the inner corner of the eye, like right at the tear duct, and I think that gives it a little bit more of a pop. I'm very excited to dig into my collection and really make use of the stuff that I already have, instead of always lusting after the next new thing that's on the market. So I will be pushing myself to continue with this kind of content, looking into what I already have and just shopping my stash basically. Okay, a quick update about the Ali situation. Me and another YouTuber on here decided to do a makeup swap. She is in the US, I am in Germany, and at some point I received the package that she sent, and she hadn't received hers for a really long time. So we had to work things out with the shipping company that I used. I called and made inquiries. Long story short, the package is now on its way to her. I will let you know when Ali gets her box. So that's it for me, and ciao for now.